This classic episode of the Electric Playground is brought to you by P&P Games, your source for everything video games. Support the partners that support Electric Playground. Remember, this episode first aired in 2001. Hey, welcome to Electric Playground, your first stop for all the latest video game information.
First stop?
Yeah, first stop.
What's our second stop?
There's no second. Just get on with it, man.
Right, well, if that's the case, then here's a little quick preview of what we got in the show today.
Today on EP, we take a look at motion capture technology at the House of Moves. We blow away walls in Red Faction. We step back in time for a look at the creation of Dragon's Lair. And Tommy and I take our reviews to the silver screen. Back in 1983, the world's first fully animated Laserdisc video game was created. It was a revolutionary game for its time and arguably the first interactive cartoon. It was called Dragon's Lair.
I am here with Don Bluth and Gary Goldman, and we are talking about Dragon's Lair. When did you guys first create Dragon's Lair?
Started when Rick Dyer came to us in October of 1982.
Our careers had just taken, a big rest because we'd just done The Secret of NIMH. Somehow, with The Secret of NIMH, it didn't quite gel quite right, and so we were looking around. That's when Rick Dyer came to the studio and said, I've got a story about this little knight. And this little knight goes out and does incredible things, and he's quite inept. So we started playing around with this, and we had no idea where the game was going to go. And the thing that I got off on at the time, I remember, was all the times that you failed to play the game correctly, and maybe you have to die. So how can we make this little knight die in such a way that you laugh at it?
Now, Rick, what made you want to contact Don and Gary for doing the animation for your idea?
We were working on this concept, and the working name was Dragon's Lair. We were developing handheld games at the time. We were developing arcade games. And my wife and I went to see this film called The Secret of NIMH. I said, that is who I want to do Dragon's Lair. I did some detective work and actually got a phone number, and when I called, Don actually answered the phone.
This was a successful game. How much money did this thing make initially?
It was beyond our wildest dreams. We went to the coin-op show, and at the end of the show, we got $10 million in orders.
Then when it went to the arcades, it was said that over the run that it had, that it did over $100 million in quarters worldwide.
In quarters.
In quarters.
Now, the first time you guys saw people playing this stuff in the arcade, what was your reaction?
The first realization of what it might be, what this game meant to the audience, was a trip that we took to Colorado. We went to Denver for the opening of the game. Yeah. It was what was the largest arcade in the United States. They took us back into the center where all the games were, and right in the middle were two Dragon's Lair games. About 25 people crowded around, standing on chairs around in a line of at least 100 people. What we did was gone around behind the game to watch the reactions of this audience that was watching people try to play the game and watch them laugh when they died.
I think Dragon's Lair is popular because it zeroes in on a character. I think it all springs off of one platform, and that platform is the same thing that story writers are involved with. Describe to me a personality or story that I can hook into, that I identify with, and you got me. There's something wonderful about those words, once upon a time.
Next week, part 2 of our feature, where Tommy takes us behind the scenes on the creation of Dragon's Lair 3D.
We understand that there's a new game that you guys are working on.
The Dragon's Lair that's coming out right now is a three-dimensional Dragon's Lair.
Now, what about Malice? I've heard all sorts of things about this.
Malice is a game from a UK developer. That's England, the United Kingdom. And the guys at Argonaut who make Malice, didn't want to actually make it look like a game. They wanted it to be an illustrated game. And so when you look at this, take a look at the way that he's enabled his artists to use the power of the Xbox to draw scenes that look like they come from a kid's book. This is Alice's teenager stage.
So she actually grows up in the game?
Yeah, she actually starts out as a little girl, and she gets turned into a cat for a while by an evil witch, and like all good fairy tales, she grows up and gets wise.
The lighting on this is just intense. I mean, it's moving around. If you see a screenshot of this in a magazine, it doesn't do it justice. I mean, you have to look at this. You actually feel like you're seeing distance.
Again, it's this thing. That's what happens when you put artists in charge, man. You get good stuff.
What was the first Star Wars video game?
While there were a couple knockoffs that came out before it, the first Star Wars game was actually based on the Empire Strikes Back movie, the second in the Star Wars trilogy. I have it here with me right now. It's for the Atari 2600, and in it you control a snow speeder that has to fight horde after horde of incoming AT-ATs. Unfortunately for you, the AT-ATs always keep coming until you run out of lives. There's just no way to win.
If you have a question about the video game industry, visit our website at www.electplay.com.
THQ has put a new twist into first-person shooters. Imagine being able to have a weapon, right? You see a wall, you blast through it, you run through the wall, you see another wall, you blast through that wall, run through there, see a guy, blast him, there's another wall, you blast.
The game's called Red Faction.
We're here with Greg Donovan from THQ, and we're talking about Red Faction. So another first-person shooter, what's the deal? Why is Red Faction so special?
Red Faction includes this technology we have called geomod. That's short for geometry modification. And basically what that means, if you take any explosive weapon, you can arbitrarily modify the walls, environments, anything that you want. So we have certain surfaces designated in-game where the player can actually blow through it, make the walls come down, blow holes in the ground, go around doors, obstacles. It's never been done before. Players for many years have been going through a game, first-person shooters in particular, and saying, you know, hey, why can't I blow up this wall? In the real world, if I have a rocket launcher, that wall would be obliterated. We have Volition working on this game, which are fantastic programmers. They've been able to create an engine that's finally going to let you do this.
So the members of the Volition team also helped to create the Descent and Free Space games. Are we going to see a correlation in Red Faction?
Well, Descent and Free Space were a lot of vehicle-driven games. We do have 5 vehicles in Red Faction. We have the Driller, the Fighter, the Sub, the APC, and the Jeep. And in particular with the Fighter, those who have played Free Space or Descent may see some of the kickback to those days.
Let's talk about the artificial intelligence. Do they react to the changes in the environments?
Well, not only that, they actually work in groups and work in cooperative enemy fighting. You'll see soldiers flanking each other, covering each other, to be able to run back and forth behind doors. You throw a grenade at them, they'll detect it and they'll run away. They'll shoot remote charges on the ground. When they're out of bullets, they'll run away from you. Very smart AI in this game. It's going to be very tough to beat. You got 15 weapons, each has a primary and alternate fire. Everything from machine guns, pistols, riot sticks, flamethrower, rocket launcher, shotguns, a few others I don't want to give away.
So what's with this whole geomod thing? I can blow holes in anything in the game and just actually look through the holes and see what's on the other side?
You can go up to the vast majority of the surfaces in game, blow them up, modify them, change them.
Maybe you better step aside for this.
Hey Becky, how's it going?
Hey guys, what's up?
We're over here testing out Red Faction. It's a great game. You gotta check this one out.
Cool. All right, well hurry up so I can play it already.
All right, back to work, miners.
Coming up next, we learn all about motion capture at the House of Moves.
Lee from P&P Games here. Hey, if you're using a celestial body to light your Game Boy screen, don't forget to apply sunscreen to your boy neck and avoid a nasty gamer's tan. If you're looking for a game to play in the sun or otherwise, check out pnpgamesonline.com, your source for everything video games. And support us as we support Vic and EP Classic. Play forever!
Hi, I'm here with Antonio Sabato Jr. I'm sure you've all seen his face and more plastered on billboards and magazines everywhere. So what games do you play?
I love the MotoGP for PS2, which is a great game.
Cool.
But they only have a few tracks. I'm very disappointed in the tracks because they only have 5 tracks instead of a lot more that they should have. But I like the F1. I like the driving games. I like the Soul Reaver on the PlayStation. But I am disappointed on Gran Turismo 3, I believe, that has been delaying. I don't know why they're delaying this game because we're all waiting for it. And when I went to the opening of the PS2 in Los Angeles, they had the game there. So we had everybody
so you got to
playing.
play it.
Yeah, but now I can't play it because it's been delayed to like May or something, and I don't quite understand because the game is out. So we're very anxious. We want to see it.
They want
Bring
the
it out.
games. Bring
We
us
want
the
Soul
games.
Reaver. We want Tomb Raider. I know you guys are working on that. We want all these great games. Bring it out because we need to play.
I am here at one of the premier motion capture studios on the whole planet. Of course, I'm talking about House of Moves, and you're probably wondering why I'm in this crazy getup. Actually, I'm kind of wondering the same thing. What's up with this?
Well, basically what we've done is we've suited you up in a motion capture suit. What this allows us to do is put these little retroreflective markers on your body. We then use these high-speed digital cameras that capture your motion at 120 frames a second. We have 18 cameras, each one positioned at a slightly different angle, because you want at least 2 cameras to see every marker at any given time. And you basically triangulate the position of a marker. So as the marker moves, the system knows, for example, this marker was moving like this. So when you get that information, then you can use that to drive a 3D model. Now that we're all markered up and ready to go, I want you to come after me.
Okay, so we're gonna do like a boxing
just
game?
like come after me and just start swinging.
Okay,
Just come,
I'm gonna,
okay?
wait.
And so what the cameras are seeing right now is they're seeing each one of these markers, and the fact that you're totally missing me.
Well, now that I've been motion captured here, where does the data go from here? What's next?
Well, the next thing we're going to show you is basically how all the cameras take these different views and how the computer can combine those to form a 3D file. What we're going to show you now is what happens after the data has been captured and reconstructed. And so for that, we're going to take a look over here at Danielle's screen. Basically what she's looking at right now is just raw marker data. We're going to have gaps, we're going to have markers that have been covered up, there'll be some noise. It's all kind of par for the course with that stuff.
Okay.
Danielle's job is to basically take that, any markers that get covered up, replace them, any noise that's there, basically filter that out. The tricky part is to filter out the noise without losing performance. Once that's done, then they use these external markers. So we generate a joint center and a bone length and rotation for every bone. Once the data's been converted to a skeleton, then that's essentially what we deliver to our client.
Cool. Well, thanks, Jared, for having us down.
Absolutely.
I'm amazed with your infinite knowledge.
You don't get out much, do you?
No.
JC from Gary, Indiana wants this code for Knockout Kings 2001 on PlayStation 2. To float like a butterfly and sting like a bee, as Muhammad Ali, enter S. Batiste, that's S-B-A-T-I-S-T-E, as a name in career mode.
Down he goes.
If you would like to request a code for a specific game, visit our website at www.electplay.com.
How hot are the deals at P&P Games, your source for everything video games? About as hot as this Diablo Reaper Daddy chip I got from some guy on the web. Here goes nothing. Oh. It's hot! It's hot! And so are the sales at pnpgamesonline.com. Support us while we support EP Classic. Play forever!
All right, I'm in Digital Eclipse here in Berkeley, California. I'm with Yanez Mala, who is the producer for Rayman for the Game Boy Advance. How you doing?
I'm good.
This Rayman is the identical version to the PlayStation version that we played a few years ago.
I would say it's the identical version of the original game, which has been released first on a PSX and also on a PC version. So yes, it's the same as the original game in every detail.
Now, Digital Eclipse is the company that's worked on almost every Game Boy Color game you've ever played. They've done so many games, it'd be impossible to list. I want to know what it's like now transitioning to the Game Boy Advance and working with a 32-bit portable platform.
Our ideal production times on a Game Boy Color were usually 6 months.
Okay.
We're really trying to take a year.
Twice the time.
Twice the time. Twice the time.
How about the manpower?
It's almost exactly twice the manpower, if not 3 times the manpower on the art side.
Wow.
Because you can put so much more art and it's got so much more capability.
Okay, so how long did Rayman take?
Rayman, we started at the end of the summer.
Okay.
So about 8 months.
These are all the layers broken down into separate files. And what happens is, ultimately, this here, the forest background, it'll scroll at a different rate than you will be scrolling in the foreground. Give this, sense of movement, and basically what's called a parallax background will be happening back there. And he's creating the sense of depth with a foreground, a middle ground, and then a background plane, scrolling at different rates.
I just can't stop playing the game, and the more I play, the more I feel like this is the platform where the game initially should have been released on.
Describe some of the levels in Rayman on Game Boy Advance. What kinds of worlds are we sort of exploring in the game?
We're going to have the jungle levels, we're going to have the music levels, we're going to have the cake levels, we're going to have the caves levels, you got everything.
You guys get development kits for the Game Boy Advance, and it's like C++ programming and all the stuff that we're familiar with for the consoles?
Yes, very much so. It's a language that's more familiar to a lot of people. Limitations on the art side are a little bit less, although you're still dealing with tile-based backgrounds and palettes and those kinds of things.
Well, good luck with the game, Renee.
So you remember the old Dragon's Lair Laserdisc game from like about 15 years ago? Well, check this out. They actually were able to use some of the old art and some of the old music and sound and replicate it like graphically. It's incredible. You're looking at this thing going, this is the best looking color Game Boy game I've ever seen. Now you'll notice I'm playing it on the Game Boy Advanced. Why? Because I can. But let's talk about the game now. You play Dirk the Daring, and he's out to rescue Daphne, the princess. Here's the biggest problem with this, is that there's no save and there's no continue. So once you die once, you gotta go all the way back and start over again. So you find yourself just having to memorize every single screen. They do have a cool tutorial though, which actually plays a couple of the scenes and tells you what you're supposed to do. Like if there'll be a little sword icon if you need to use your sword, or if you go right, you go right. As far as the graphics go, I mean, this game is a 10, but as far as overall score, I'd have to give it about a 7.
Don't go away, reviews on the run are coming up next.
Hey Trevor, I just picked up Puzzle Fighter from P&B Games. You can be Dan. What?
I'll be right down. Just making some gamer broccoli.
Gamer broccoli. Enjoy broccoli. Enjoy broccoli. Whole new way to enjoy broccoli. Enjoy broccoli. Whole new way to enjoy broccoli. Whole new way to enjoy broccoli.
Reviews on the Run is brought to you by Walmart. So here we are at the American Theater in the Bronx. Pretty cool, huh?
That's right by Yankee Stadium.
Awesome. So what'd you think of ATV Off-Road Fury for PlayStation 2?
For the PlayStation 2, we're talking about four-wheeling bikes.
Yes.
Jumping over lots of dirt and stuff.
60 feet in the air.
When you go off those dirt mounds, you actually really feel like you're getting air. And that's important in a game like this.
It has perfect control. That's the best thing about this game. So when you are flying through the air trying to navigate the hills, you can totally feel like you're dipping and tilting and trying to get to the next slope without killing yourself. And
even if you screw up once or twice,
you're okay.
you eat the dirt, you can actually get on your bike and eventually you'll catch up and you always feel like you're in the race.
And the game is competitive too. It's not like they're just sort of waiting there for you to catch up.
It's not easy. The first time I play a game like this, I don't even like try to race around and win. I just try to crash into as many things as possible.
The wipeouts are awesome. The stunt mode's really fun too. I mean, you can do all kinds of wacky maneuvers. You can tilt your legs out either way. You can do Superman flies through the air and stuff like that. Very cool game. Multiplayer is super fun as well. I'm going to give ATV Off-Road Fury a 9 out of 10. It's my second favorite PlayStation 2 game so far.
I give it an 8.
What'd you think of Rayman 2 Revolution for the PlayStation 2?
Here's the deal with this game. I'm looking at it on a PlayStation 2, and it looks like the Dreamcast version and all the other versions.
Well,
they didn't take advantage of the PlayStation 2 hardware.
It has better resolution, so it does actually look crisper. The frame rates are really solid.
Of course the frame rates are solid. The guy's got no arms, legs, or neck.
But part of the reason for the reason why it doesn't look that much different is because it was so great looking to begin with. This is a beautiful game. The environments are amazing. It's a classic platform game.
You go around this green, lovely, flowery butterfly world and talk to all these little characters.
You can't really deny this is a great playing game.
No, I'm denying it. It's not a great
Yes,
playing
it
game.
is.
No.
This is one of the best platform games ever made. It's right up there with Mario 64. They did add some new elements here. It's not a complete port. I mean, they added some new mini games, and there's some new bonus levels.
The graphics, though, look ported. This
Like
game
that.
is a 6.
9.5 out of 10.
6.
It's a great game, but please only buy it if you haven't got it for the other system. What do you think of Conker's Bad Fur Day for Nintendo 64?
Let me just say that this is the funniest video game ever of all time. Who would have ever thought that Nintendo, first party, would have published a game that has swearing in it, violence, drinking.
It's true that Conker does drink beer, he does get drunk.
And he pees on people.
He does urinate. There's a lot of sort of toilet humor in the game. That stuff makes you laugh, but there's also really cool rewards like little movie-inspired reenactments and stuff. So you see scenes that look like they were lifted from The Matrix or Saving Private Ryan or Star Wars. You can obviously see that Rare spent a ton of time working out all the gags and the jokes and the humor.
Right.
And they really developed the storyline.
There's not one lame joke in the whole thing.
No, they worked and worked
funny.
and worked on it. I did notice, though, as I was playing the game, that it was a little bit of a dichotomy. There was this sort of sense that it had started out to be another sort of Banjo-Kazooie style game. And then halfway through the development, they said, you know what, we can't just do this again. Let's tweak it and make it sort of more for adults. I mean, you're going to fight this giant monster, and I can't describe it on television.
I'll describe it for you. Big poo turd who takes feces off its own body and
throws it at you. And you've got to avoid that.
This is entertainment.
As it's singing opera, it's singing this opera to you. He's all lip synced, and he's singing, and he reacts to you hitting him at the same time, and you're going, wow, how did they get all this stuff onto the cartridge? You know, a really remarkable achievement. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. I love this game.
10. I give it an 8.5.
Okay, what'd you think of Typing of the Dead?
Typing of
the
the
Dreamcast.
Dead. Picture House of the Dead, except instead of shooting people, you're typing them dead.
So it's House of the Dead, and you're learning a new skill.
So you're learning how to type and kill at the same time.
Which is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Sega is so quick to pick up on innovative ideas. It's cool because it's not exactly the House of the Dead revisited. It's a sort of new take on it. And all the good guys in the game actually walk around with Dreamcast backpacks on their back and little keyboards, and they have to kill all the zombies with these little keyboard weapons.
And some of the words that they say are
it's
completely hilarious, like touch my waddle.
I think I had smooth or something. They make up words too that you've never heard, like snoffle or something. Actually, I got one which is help with 14 E's.
No,
you had to time out the E's perfectly with what was on screen.
And every single time you hit a correct letter, it's like shooting. So like, you know, you hit the H in help, and then his arm shoots off.
Yeah.
And then you hit the E, and his head goes flying.
They were going for like new heights of absurdity in this game.
Right.
But
Well,
you know
they
what?
achieved it.
There is nothing else like this on the market. It's completely innovative. This is a classic. You have to pick it up. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10.
I give it an 8.
So what do you think of Mega Man X5 from Capcom for the PlayStation?
Oh, here's the deal with this game. What you'll find is they took a game from 10 or 15 years ago and they put it on the PlayStation today.
It's nostalgic gaming, and that works. It's all about constant action.
Everything looks completely pasted on the background. Everything looks...
It's part of the charm.
It's 1D. This is the same system that brought us Metal Gear Solid and Gran Turismo Racing. And then I look at this and go, how sad is this?
There's room.
I was sad.
There's room for 2D scrollers. I think you're totally off when you say that.
if you do them with nice graphics,
This has great
nice
graphics.
sound, and great cinematics.
There's room for 2D
There's
sprite
none
games.
of that here.
You know, it's fun. Don't think about it too much. Don't stress, man. It's a good game. 7 out of 10.
I'm not stressing. 2.5.
What?
This is ridiculous. It's a 2.5. It's not a 7.
It's a 7.
Period.
It's
No.
a 7.
I'm disgusted. I'm leaving.
I can't eat all this, man.
Hey, what are you doing? Theater's closed. Get the out of here.
To purchase any games featured in Reviews on the Run, visit a Walmart near you. If you'd like us to review a specific game, visit our website at www.electplay.com. That's it for the show. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time on the Electric Playground.
Production assistance provided by Acclaim, makers of All-Star Baseball 2002, Activision, makers of Star Trek Away Team, PlayStation, makers of Gran Turismo 3 for the PlayStation 2.
You can see me now in this computer. Look, if you needed any motion capture of a bird, look at this. Check that movement out.
You know, we'll take your headshot and information and get a hold of your agent.
I can do a frog.
Like I said,
The
man,
motion
just
capture
put it on the
frogs?
headshot. Don't call us. We'll
Okay.
call you.
How about Elvis? See if you need to. Okay, never
A
mind.
little more pelvis.
Pelvis in the Elvis?
There you go.
Give me that!
This classic episode of The Electric Playground was brought to you by P&P Games, your source for everything video games. Support the partners that support The Electric Playground. Thanks for watching, and play forever.